All good writing has a beginning, a middle, and an end. By now, you have composed your introductory paragraph, which is arguably the hardest part. You have written your body paragraphs, making sure you have thoughtfully progressed from idea to idea, and you have provided your reader with specific examples that illustrate and support your thesis. Now we are on to the end, or your conclusion paragraph. Some people think skipping this part is okay. However, it is not. Providing closure for your reader is part of your job as the writer. Let's review the structure of this paragraph. First of all, notice how it flows in the opposite way of the introduction. You start with the narrow and end with the broader. The first part is where you restate your thesis in a new and different way. We like to call this the super so what because you are asking yourself, so what? Then you will sum up the main points of your body paragraph. Last, you will leave your reader with something to think about. Do not ask a question here, please. The hardest part about this paragraph is making unique conclusions here and not just simply repeating yourself. Being redundant is not an option. Please remember the writer in these examples is not writing to your prompt. When you practice, practice with your prompt so you can make the best use of your time. Before you get started, you need to set up a practice page. Find a blank page away from your working draft that you can practice these parts of the conclusion. Set up the page like this one. Hit pause so you can do this. In order to write a good super so what, the writer must first review her thesis. Here are the two theses that the writer debated in her first lesson. She chose option number 1. Having a good friend can ensure that a person is never lonely. The super so what, as mentioned before, is the restatement of the thesis without being repetitive, which is the hardest part. So it cannot be your thesis exactly or any version of it, because good writers do not repeat themselves unless it is for a purpose. This includes sentence structure. Be sure you look at your ideas in a new and different way, because that will help you write the super so what. The first thing you need to do is to read through your introduction and your body paragraphs all the way through. Pause the video so that you can do that. Now that you have read through your essay, ask yourself, what am I saying about my topic? One way to answer that is to look at the opposite of what you said and then refute or argue against it. The writer of the friendship essay does just that in option A. Not having a close friend can make life safer because that choice can prevent a person from the heartache of getting hurt if the person lets he or she down. However, this choice also ensures a person a less joyful life. The second way you can go here is to come up with one statement that brings all of your ideas together in one profound sentence. The writer of the friendship essay tried this tactic in option B. Friendship makes life more joyful and interesting. Pause the video here and try both of these approaches with your topic. First of all, notice the writer chose option B for her super so what. Friendship makes life more joyful and interesting. Why, you might ask? She felt that option A was too verbose or wordy. Next, the writer needed to sum up her main points without being repetitive. A writer needs to read back over the body paragraphs. Once he or she has done that, then the writer must compose a complex sentence or a compound sentence or a series of sentences that address the main points of the body paragraphs. The writer of the friendship essay chose to write a series of 2 sentences with pretty strong transitions. Without Ron and Hermione, Harry would never have summoned the courage to face Voldemort. My dad, on the other hand, would have not been on so many adventures. Pause the video so you can write your sum up. Now we will address the last impression the writer will make on the reader. A writer must leave the reader with something to think about. The first tactic is to challenge the reader. Notice how the writer of the friendship essay does just that in the first attempt. Open your heart to that special person who could help you live a richer and fuller life. Pause so you can try this option. The next approach, a writer will loop back up to the hook. The writer of the friendship essay does just this when she loops back up to the old shoes analogy she started with. Just like that old pair of shoes that you store in the special place in your closet, keep your close friend in a special place in your heart. Pause to try this tactic on your own. The last option is to connect with the world at large in some way. Let's see what the writer of the friendship essay did with this tactic. So many people live life keeping to themselves, but the world is a happier place when we open our hearts to people. Pause the video so that you can try this last option for your Leave the Reader with something to think about. The last step is to put all of this together. Let's see how our writer put her conclusion paragraph together. Be sure to notice the decisions she intentionally made in her paragraph. Friendship makes life more joyful and interesting. Without Ron and Hermione, Harry Potter would have never had summoned the courage to face Voldemort. My dad, on the other hand, would never have been on so many amazing adventures. Just like that old pair of shoes that you store in your closet in a special place, keep your close friends in a special place in your heart. Find the draft of your essay. Go to the next line, indent, and put all of your hard work together in one coherent paragraph. Awesome hard work, writers! You should now have a complete first draft. However, you are not finished. Now it is time to make this essay even better through revising and editing. When you are ready, find the Revising and Editing slideshow on Canvas and begin the process of making this essay into something of which you can be proud. Good luck!